Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I asked my Discord to hand draw me crazy pictures of things that they'd like to see me try to create in Scrap Mechanic. And that means this is another You Draw, I Build, otherwise known as YDIB. So we're starting off with our first drawing here by Monkey Boy. This is a two-wheel balancing car thingy. And by the looks of it, it's just a standard car, but the catch is it has a couple of thrusters and sensors to try to make it balance on two wheels. I think this is relatively doable, and I just so happen to have a car that looks exactly like that right here. All right, so with the use of, I actually only think I'm gonna need one sensor, and with the use of two thrusters, I'm gonna try to make this thing balance. Now, I'm gonna put this thruster on the inside here, because if it's sticking out of the bottom, it's gonna have a chance to collide with the ground. I think that's just gonna be a much nicer area for it to balance from. And then also, I'm going to need one up here as well. So now, it is unfortunate that this car is pretty much entirely made out of concrete because concrete is really, really heavy. I think I actually built this car when concrete wasn't the heaviest material. It was the medium material. They changed that. But the way that I'm going to do this with only one sensor is when I press a button, it's going to activate the balancing mode. And my plan for that is this thruster is going to always be on, trying to push ourselves off all the way onto our side. But then once we get to a certain angle, this sensor will detect the ground and then trigger this thruster to counter that force, hopefully finding a balance point. But first, let's see if we have this thruster all the way up to max. How powerful is that? Oh no, this is bad. That is not powerful enough. Here, let me just add a second thruster here, power that, and see if this is gonna be enough. Is the concrete really this heavy? Let's add a third thruster. This is bad. What is going on here? Two more thrusters, also max power. Like, what is going on? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, now we have, we have another issue. So my initial idea might actually not work as easy as I was expecting it to. So this sensor detects the ground, and that's gonna trigger that thruster to counteract the force. Oh no. All right, gentle. No way. I'm gonna actually make a system here where I need these thrusters to turn off. Oh, I got an idea. What if just one of the thrusters turns off, actually? Let's make sure that that works. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This is gonna give us a little bit more leverage with the counter thrust. I gotta delete this other seat as well. All right, let me add some more counter thrust up here. Oh. Oh, go, no, keep going. Dang it. Oh, it's working already. Okay, I think we can change the angle now by changing the distance that this detects the ground. Now it'll go a little bit farther. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, now how about driving like this? Oh, no, man. All right, let's go 8 blocks. Oh, come on. All right, I think one more counter thrust is in order here. Okay, how's this feel now? That's good. Okay, we're zeroing in. All right, now let's drive. Okay, doing good. Can I turn? Oh boy, come on, keep balancing. Don't overdo it. Oh, turning to the left is a little bit wonky. All right, what about turning to the right? Do I over tilt? Oh, it's wanting to. Oh, there it goes. Oh man, this is a tough one. I am now adding another thruster to the very top. That's gonna give us a lot more leverage on the counter thrusts. We're pretty much doing it now. I mean, compare this to the drawing that we see, and I think we've done a good job. It's not the most consistent thing, but it is a two-wheel balancing car thingy, and oh no. Two-wheel balancing car thingy, and the good thing about it is it's toggleable. I can go ahead and turn it off and then drive perfectly normal. You know, I'm just your normal car filled with thrusters inside the cabin. And then I can activate two-wheel balancing car thingy mode and flip myself over a bunch of times. That was an overwhelming success. All right, up next by Atomic Ray, a little bit of troll physics here. This is a hammer-powered slider. So basically, it looks like there's a hammer that spins around, and then there's this, that little red block is a gate that will close to block the hammer as it spins around. And the whole thing is gonna be built upon frictionless blocks so we can slide. So essentially, the hammer is going to be hitting the base, theoretically causing us to propel ourselves forward. So let's give it a try and see what happens. All right, so I got the basic framework. We've got frictionless blocks on the bottom, and now I am building the hammer off of, you know what, I should have this actually off of 2 separate bearings. This will allow me to have some more power if I want to try powering the bearings with an engine versus using a thruster on the hammer. All right, so this is where the hammer is at its lowest point, and it looks like the intent of this was to use a swinging gate on a bearing. I don't think that that's going to be the best option because I don't think the bearing is going to be strong enough to hold the hammer as it hits it. It's just going to knock it off of the bearing. I think pistons are going to be much more resilient when it comes to withstanding this this force with the hammer. All right, here is the gate. Open, close, should be good enough. Now let's see if this engine is going to be adequate enough to power this hammer. Oh, look at that. Okay. That's looking good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, you know what? No, it's gonna have to be thruster powered because when you power the bearings, you create torque. It's still gonna have this wobbly effect, though. I don't think there's any getting around that. Let's see. How much thrust do I need to get this thing over the hump? A little bit more. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. All right, you know what? You know what all this needs? We just gotta add some, we gotta make this thing heavier. All right, how's this feel? Hey, oh, yeah, okay, hold on, no, just calm down. Yeah, I don't think this idea is gonna work very well. I mean, it's already like, the physics of it already doesn't really check out in my mind, but Scrap Mechanic can sometimes handle stuff like that. Okay, how's this feeling with the added weight? You know what? Let's just try it. I'm gonna hop in this seat. We're gonna hook up the button to the, I'm gonna try to hook up the button to the, come on, just get the seat. I'm trying to hook up the button to the seat. Right, there we go. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Close the gate. Open the gate. Close the gate. Open. Wouldn't you know? Turns out every action does have an equal and opposite reaction. Wait, are we actually, hold on, are we technically going forward a little bit now? Okay, no, it's literally, it pretty much cancels out. Which, it's exactly what you would expect in real life, but I'm telling you right now, like, physics and Scrap Mechanic, you never know what to expect. Because you know why? You know what's the same exact principle as this, and yet it works in Scrap Mechanic? This right here. If you're not familiar with Scrap Mechanic, you probably think it's dumb that I would even expect that to work, but explain this. Explain this, will ya? Look at this. This is essentially the same physics that we're trying to achieve with this creation, but it just works more realistically with the creation. Man, look at how much speed you can get on this thing. Ah! So it was a valiant effort. We tried and we failed, but the fun was all the friends we made along the way or something. Okay, up next by Target Strike. This is like a nesting doll truck where the smallest truck has a turret. So it looks like this is a really easy to build pickup truck. And then I have to build a smaller pickup truck that can fit in the bed of the other pickup truck. And then an even smaller pickup truck that can fit in the bed of that pickup truck with a little spud gun on top of the smallest, in the bed of the smallest pickup truck. I think I can do that. Now, I think it's gonna be smartest to start with the smallest one, because I think it's gonna be easier to adjust the bed size as we grow, as opposed to contracting, because there's only so small you can get before I can't build something small enough to fit into the bed and still be functional. All right, so this small one is gonna have tiny little wheels. It's gonna have a tiny little bed back here. I can't put a seat on this thing. All right, then the turret, I'm just gonna go super basic. I'm just gonna attach a gun onto this thing like that. I think that looks pretty good as far as looking at the drawing here. Okay, now I need to fit this thing inside the bed of another one. All right, so I just build around the perimeter of this one. that looks like it'll be the bed right there. All right, now to put slightly bigger wheels on this one. All right, at least this one I can kind of fit a windshield in. Does this look okay on that one? I guess that does look okay. Okay, now I've got to fit this next one into the final one. All right, so once again, just gonna box it in based off of how wide the previous car is. There we go. Yeah, I'm really glad I started from the smallest one instead of the largest one. All right, now that I'm actually starting to build these things out, I think it might look better if I have a slight color difference going on between each layer, because they kind of blend in with each other otherwise. All right, I got the wheels on here now. I realized I don't have a driver's seat right now. I gotta fit a driver's seat in here somehow. Do I have room for that? All right, I can put the driver's seat right here, but I can't close the glass in front of it because there's a collision. So that's a little bit awkward, but we're working with the amount of space I have. But with the driver's seat here, that means I can hook up my steering and also put an engine up in the front. All right, we've got a spud gun inside of a pickup truck, inside of a pickup truck, inside of a pickup truck. And I saw I missed some paint spots, but we're just gonna ignore that. So here we go, we're driving. You can see the pickup trucks are a little bit loose, but they're not completely loose. And then we've got control over the spud gun from the main driver's seat. I mean, look at that drawing. I think this thing looks pretty good. All right, let's see how much we can push this thing though. We gotta jump over here. I wanna see what happens if I flip this thing over, because they're the trucks are only attached by one of their wheels and they can rotate about those wheels. You can see that. It looks like they're pretty stable though. Looks like they're not gonna like flip out or anything. And there we go. And yeah, see, everything just kind of stays in, so pretty stable, not bad at all. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot about headlights on this one too. Just want to keep them consistent. All right, perfect. Now it all looks better. All right, I'm proud of this one. This was actually pretty good. A legitimate mission success. Okay, up next by Durgist, he says, it would be interesting to see how this drives. And what it looks like is essentially a double wishbone system, but instead of the double wishbone applying vertically to like suspension on the wheels, it seems we're flipping that horizontally, so the wheels are going to flex forwards and backwards instead of up and down. And they're also attached on top of that to steering. So I think it'll work. It'll just be the wheels are gonna do some weird stuff, but I don't think it's gonna affect us that much, because the way the double wishbone system works is it should keep the wheels aligned straight with the direction that we're facing. So I don't think it's gonna make us lose control or anything, but I think that's gonna be the fun in finding out. All right, there we go. So this should work. And then we have a steering. Our steering is gonna come from here. So that is gonna be the attachment point for the steering. And this whole thing essentially just gets duplicated 4 times. And I just weld it to my slab here with the seat on it. All right, there is 1. I'm gonna make this a little bit longer. There's 2, there is 3, and finally, number 4. How's that looking? All symmetrical, good. All right, so we're gonna have 4-wheel steering on this one according to the drawing. Hook our engine up to the wheels. This drawing does not have an engine on it, but I'm assuming it's implied. And for the sake of consistency, let's paint it brown just like the drawing. Exciting colors here. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let's see how it does. Yep, that's pretty much exactly what I was expecting, but how is turning gonna go? Oh my god, okay, turning. The turning is actually really weird. Hold on, let me see how turning is in place. All right, the turning is correct as far as the direction that it's going, but I think the turning does add some collision into it. You know what, since we're doing 4-wheel steering, let me just go ahead and lower the degrees of rotation down to like 10. I think it might give us some extra stability and prevent potential collisions as we're steering at speed. All right, how's that looking? It's not the best steering, but it's plenty enough. Yeah, oh, this is plenty steering. Look at that steering radius. All right, maybe the engine's a little bit too powerful as well. Hold on. Let's just go for some stability right now. Let's calm down a little bit. There we go. This feels more reasonable. Oh, this is interesting. This is really interesting, actually, just to see what forces are happening to the wheels. When I turn in one direction, the back corner opposite of the direction I'm turning is the only one that ends up going... Okay, now it's not doing it. Never mind. Okay, now that I'm turning to the right, the back left corner is extended far. And then when I turn to the left, yeah, now the back right corner. Interesting. Okay, no, it's actually a lot of different things are happening here. I mean, the forward makes sense. Everything just goes forward, and then if I go backwards, everything goes backwards. The turning is where things are getting interesting. It's not consistent. Sometimes they can stay forward while we're turning, like right now, and sometimes they don't. But yeah, as far as controllability goes, it mostly feels like a normal car when, if you're not looking at it, if you close your eyes while you're driving, it feels normal. But what I mean is, I can go in the direction that I want to go, and it really doesn't feel like much is happening that wouldn't be happening if I just had normal wheels anyway. It's just this visual effect that's happening that's really, really weird and strange to watch, but kind of fun. So yeah, that kind of actually met my expectations, and it's pretty cool. All right, and then up last by Marky is this crazy thing, which I instantly recognized as soon as I saw it. I don't even have to read this whole thing. I'm sure most of you have probably seen this video going around the internet for the past few months or so. I come across it every once in a while, but rather than explain it, I should probably just show it to you. It's this thing right here. It comes with an awesome sound effect as well. So basically what's happening is the top set of balls are all faster than the subsequent set of balls as far as when they're hitting the left and right sides. So then they get more and more offset as it goes along. And as you can see, they end up lining up. They end up lining up in weird ways and then unaligning. There they go, they lined up again, and then they unalign and it gets kind of chaotic, but then it just kind of eventually gets more organized, like now. And then it gets disorganized. And more chaos, and then it'll line up again eventually. There we go. Oh, and then it's chaos again. And we have only a couple more seconds left. And we're kind of going back, and we are done. I don't like that it finished there because this is not the actual beginning point. This is the beginning point. I was hoping that it would kind of cycle all the way through back to the beginning point, but it doesn't. So I don't know if this is possible to do with the settings I'm going to be using in ScrapMechanic because we're not going to have that much precision over the speeds, but I'm going to see if I'm going to do my best to try to replicate what's going on here. And the original also uses 16 different balls. I think I'm going to go maximum 10, if that. All right. So by the looks of it, at least in the video, it's actually it's a 90 degree set of walls that they're bouncing off of, which is really convenient because I'm restricted to a 90 degree build grid here. The difficult part is going to be, ooh, how am I gonna do this? I need all of these to have a rotation point, but they all have to have their separate rotation point that doesn't interfere with each other because they have to be all on a different speed. I didn't think this far through. I thought it was gonna be easier to build than this. Because I mean, the easiest way to do it would just be have them all attached to the same point like this. But the problem with this is they become dependent on each other. The speed of the previous one is going to affect the speed of the next one. But I want them to have their own speed. I don't know if that can work in our favor or if it's just gonna work against us. No, it's not gonna work because as this one changes directions back and forth, it's gonna change the speed of everything else depending on which direction it's going. So this concept I don't think works. Uh-oh, is this not possible? Okay, you know what? The drawing that Marky submitted only has 5. So maybe if I just do 5, I might be able to work around this problem. So this is not an elegant solution, but I think it is a solution. So this is gonna be 1, and then the next one's gonna have its own rotation point that is in line with the other one, which is exactly what we want. And then I'm just gonna route it out here. It ends up being lined up with this one now. All right, now I gotta build another one of these that then lines up with this one. The tough part is like they have like 2 block gaps in between them. This is just really inconvenient, but I honestly think this is the best solution. And there we go. That is 5, just like the drawing. So as you can see, it gets exponentially just more inconvenient to try to build these things out as they need to take up more and more, or work around more and more space. All right, so now each of these needs their own controller that's going to control them because they have to all be on separate speeds. So they should all be looping and they go 90 degrees in one direction and then back. All right, let's just do a quick test to make sure they're all doing the right thing here. Okay, this should go 90 degrees, stop at this arm, and then go back. All right, that looks perfect. And then make sure it's gonna loop. All right, good. Okay, so now the top one should be the fastest. And then I'm gonna have this one go less fast, and then less fast, and then I'm just gonna go one step down in speed from each one. It's too much speed. I wish there was like, see that's the problem that I was predicting, that I was expecting, was that the differences in speed of one tick is just too great. I wish we had like half speeds in here. Maybe if I just start from the slowest and work my way up, probably be a little bit more in line with each other. I don't know. But then it's gonna be like, it's gonna take too long in that case. I feel like faster is gonna be a little bit more satisfying. You know what, let's just bump it up. Let's just do faster. You know what, I actually wanna make this one step more accurate. I'm gonna have it trigger sound so we can actually hear what it's doing. So we're gonna have sensors here. No, hey, what are you doing? That's not what you're supposed to be. Stop. All right, ready to see what this looks and sounds like? Let's see if it's anything like the original. Obviously, we have way fewer nodes to work with, but let's just see how it sounds. Here we go. Nice whole tone scale for you. I don't know if it's gonna line up anymore. This is kind of creepy, isn't it? Just sit here and watch for a little bit, see if it lines up in any satisfying way. A couple of them lined up, but then there were the ones that didn't, so... This feels like some type of postmodern interpretive art piece that's just sitting in the middle of a college campus. Just creeping people out when they're trying to relax in between classes. I don't know if they're like ever gonna get to anything resembling a 0 point, or... I feel like we're going nowhere. This is not nearly as satisfying as the original. Let me try though, let's just experiment with changing all of the speeds up, just so there's less waiting around, you know? Yeah, see, I think the big problem with this in Scrap Mechanic compared to the original is the amount of time in between each one is way too big. We need smaller increments of time, and I can't program that. Okay, so I'm realizing that the top one, the blue one, is actually doing 3 ticks for every 1 tick of the purple one. Yep, every 3 ticks of the blue one equals 1 tick of the purple one. Oh, they just lined up there. Okay, these are actually resetting though. Okay, there is something to this one. Yeah, let's just speed this thing up and see if that makes it more satisfying. There it goes. We finally lined back up. All right, I think I'm done with this now. Well, you guys drew and I built what you drew, and that brought us this episode of You Draw, I Build. If you liked this, you'll probably like more of the YDIB series that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.